Welcome to UK Learnings. After watch this video, please subscribe to give us your support. And don't forget to click bell icon to get more videos.
What is the only major golf tournament held outside of the US? The English Premier League, the Open Championship, the Wimbledon Championship, Royal Ascot. The answer is the Open Championship. The Open Championship is the only major golf tournament held outside the United States. It is hosted by a different golf course every year. The Civil War in 1642 split the country into which two groups? The landowners and the slaves, House of York and House of Lancaster, the Roundheads and the Cavaliers, House of Commons and House of Lords. The answer is the Roundheads and the Cavaliers. Civil war between the King and Parliament could not now be avoided and began in 1642. The country split into those who supported the King, the Cavaliers, and those who supported Parliament. What is meant by common law? Sentence is decided by the jury, written down, codified, following previous decisions. The answer is following previous decisions. In England, judges developed common law by a process of precedence, that is, following previous decisions, and tradition. In Scotland, the legal system developed slightly differently and laws were codified. How many members does the Scottish Parliament have? 129, 76, 94, 108. The answer is 129. There are 129 members of the Scottish Parliament, MSPs, elected by a form of proportional representation. How many people lost their lives in the decades after 1969 due to violence in Northern Ireland? 60,000, 3,000, 12,000, 30,000. The answer is 3,000. Some 3,000 people lost their lives in the decades after 1969 in the violence in Northern Ireland. When did the Irish Free State become a republic? 1937, 1949. 1922, 1931. The answer is 1949. In 1922 Ireland became two countries. The 6 counties in the north which were mainly Protestant remained part of the UK under the name Northern Ireland. The rest of Ireland became the Irish Free State. It had its own government and became a republic in 1949. Who designed New Delhi to be the seat of government in India? Inigo Jones, Sir Christopher Wren, Robert Adam, Sir Edwin Lutyens. The answer is Sir Edwin Lutyens. In the 20th century, Sir Edwin Lutyens had an influence throughout the British Empire. He designed New Delhi to be the seat of government in India. He was responsible for many war memorials throughout the world, including the Cenotaph in Whitehall. Where is the Hadrian Wall? In the north of England, in the north of Scotland, in the north of Wales, in the north of Ireland. The answer is in the north of England. Areas of what is now Scotland were never conquered by the Romans, and the Emperor Hadrian built a wall in the north of England to keep out the Picts. Who was R.A. Butler? A Conservative MP, a poet, Minister of Health, an economist. The answer is a Conservative MP. Richard Austin Butler, later Lord Butler, was born in 1902. He became a Conservative MP in 1923 and held several positions before becoming responsible for education in 1941. Who wrote the Canterbury Tales? J.K. Rowling, Geoffrey Chaucer, William Caxton, Charles Dickens. The answer is Geoffrey Chaucer. In the years leading up to 1400, Geoffrey Chaucer wrote a series of poems in English about a group of people going to Canterbury on a pilgrimage. What is Richard Arkwright remembered for? Efficiently running factories, creating a carding machine, cutting hair, improving steam power. The answer is efficiently running factories. Born in 1732, Arkwright originally trained and worked as a barber. He was able to dye hair and make wigs. When wigs became less popular, he started to work in textiles, which was a crucial aerial battle against the Germans, the Dunkirk Spirit, the Battle of Britain, D-Day. The Blitz spirit. The answer is the Battle of Britain. The Germans waged an air campaign against Britain, but the British resisted with their fighter planes and eventually won the crucial aerial battle against the Germans, called the Battle of Britain. What party won the election in 1945, after VI? Labour. A coalition. Conservative. Liberal Democrats. The answer is Labour. In 1945 the British people elected a Labour government. The new Prime Minister was Clement Attlee, who promised to introduce the welfare state outlined in the Beveridge Report. Who should you write to if you wish to make a complaint about the police? Your local MP, the House of Commons, the House of Lords, the Chief Constable? The answer is the Chief Constable. Anyone can make a complaint about the police by going to a police station or writing to the Chief Constable of the police force involved. Which court deals with the most serious cases in Scotland? High Court, Sheriff Court, Crown Court, Justice of the Peace Court. The answer is High Court. The most serious cases in Scotland, such as murder, are heard at a High Court with a judge and jury. Who wrote music for King George I? Sir William Walton, George Frederick Handel, Benjamin Britten, Sir Edward Elgar? The answer is George Frederick Handel. The German-born composer George Frederick Handel, 1695 to 1759, spent many years in the UK and became a British citizen in 1727. Who led the team of scientists to split the atom for the first time? Alexander Fleming, Ernest Rutherford, Sir Ian Wilmot, Dylan Thomas? The answer is Ernest Rutherford. Scientists led by Ernest Rutherford, working at Manchester and then Cambridge University, were the first to split the atom and took part in the Manhattan Project in the United States, which developed the atomic bomb. Who won gold medals for ice dancing at the Olympic Games in 1984? Peggy Fleming and Sasha Collin, Tessa Virtue and Scott Moir, Jane Torville and Christopher Dean, Bobby Moore and Dame Kelly Holmes? The answer is Jane Torville and Christopher Dean. Jane Torville, 1957, and Christopher Dean, 1958, won gold medals for ice dancing at the Olympic Games in 1984 and in 4 consecutive World Championships. What percentage of the total population lives in England? 86%, 80%, 82%, 84%. The answer is 84%. The population is very unequally distributed over the 4 parts of the UK. England more or less consistently makes up 84% of the total population, Wales around 5%, Scotland just over 8% and Northern Ireland less than 3%. When did the Vikings first attack Britain? AD 789, AD 798, AD 897, AD 879. The answer is AD 789. The Vikings came from Denmark and Norway. They first visited Britain in AD 789 to raid coastal towns and take away goods and slaves. What was an important English export in the Middle Ages? Wool, potatoes, stone, glass. The answer is wool. English wool became a very important export in the Middle Ages. People came to England from abroad to trade and also to work. Many had special skills, such as weavers from France, engineers from Germany, glass manufacturers from Italy and canal builders from Holland. Who was the first Scottish king? Kenneth MacAlpin. Canute also Canute. Harold. William I. The answer is Kenneth MacAlpin. In the north, the threat of attack by Vikings had encouraged the people to unite under one king, Kenneth MacAlpin. Where do you have to be registered to be able to vote? The UK Registry, the Home Office, the UK Database, the Electoral Register. The answer is the Electoral Register. To be able to vote in a parliamentary, local or European election, you must have your name on the Electoral Register. What was the Black Death? A form of plague, lack of food, lack of water, a battle. The answer is a form of plague. In 1348, A disease, probably a form of plague, came to Britain. This was known as the Black Death. 1/3 of the population of England died and a similar proportion in Scotland and Wales. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, share, like, and don't forget to click the bell icon to get more videos.